Hello and welcome to day 34 of our journey to read the Bible every day for 1 year in chronological order. Today we are going to read Exodus 13 to 15. Exodus 13. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sacrifice unto me all the firstborn whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast. It is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day, in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. This day came ye out in the month Abib. And it shall be when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee, a land flowing with milk and honey, that thou shalt keep this service in this month. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and in the 7th day shall be a feast of the Lord to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee, neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. And thou shalt shew thy son in that day, saying, This is done because of that which the Lord did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt. And it shall be for a sign unto thee upon thine hand, and for a memorial between thine eyes, that the Lord's law may be in thy mouth. For with a strong hand hath the Lord brought thee out of Egypt. Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in his season from year to year. The firstborn of beasts are set apart. And it shall be when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, as he sware unto thee and to thy fathers, and shall give it thee, that thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix, and every firstling that cometh of a beast which thou hast, the male shall be the Lord's. And every firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb, and if thou wilt not redeem it, then thou shalt break his neck. And all the firstborn of man among thy children shalt thou redeem. And it shall be when thy son asketh thee in the time to come, saying, What is this? That thou shalt say unto him, By strength of hand the Lord brought us out from Egypt, from the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all that openeth the matrix, being males. But all the firstborn of my children I redeem. And it shall be for a token upon thine hand, and for frontlets between thine eyes. For by strength of hand the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt. The Israelites go out of Egypt and carry Joseph's bones with them. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, not the pillar of fire by night, from before the people. Exodus 14. God instructs the Israelites in their journey. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they turn and encamp before Pi-hahiroth, between Migdol and the sea over against Baal-zephon, before it shall ye encamp by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, They are entangled in the land, the wilderness hath shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and of his servants was turned against the people. And they said, Why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? And he made ready his chariot, and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots, and all the chariots of Egypt, and captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel, and the children of Israel went out with an high hand. But the Egyptians pursued after them all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen, and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea, beside Pi-hahiroth, before Baal-zephon. The Israelites murmur. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were sore afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. And they said unto Moses, Because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, Let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. And Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will shew to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. God instructs Moses. And the Lord said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel, that they go forward. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, upon his chariots and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariot, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of God, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face, and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them. But it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night. The Israelites passed through the Red Sea, and Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea, upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch the Lord looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariots' wheels, that they drave from them heavily. So that the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength, when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, and the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen, and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land, and in the midst of the sea. And the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians. And the people feared the Lord, and believed the Lord and his servant Moses. Exodus 15. Moses' song. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel the song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation. My father's God, I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them, they sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were gathered together, the floods stood up upright as an heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them. They sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Thou stretchest out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestina. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed, the mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of thine arm, they shall be as still as a stone. Till thy people pass over, O Lord, till the people pass over which thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in, and plant them in the mountains of thine inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea. And the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them, but the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The people want water, but the waters at Marah are bitter. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord shewed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, If thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and wilt do that which is right in his sight, and wilt give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians. For I am the Lord that healeth thee. And they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. So this was Exodus 13 to 15. And I have at least 2 remarks. So the first one, I know that there was a first one, but I don't remember where. So maybe I'm going to skip to the second one directly and then go back to the first one. It was 14 in my head. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And this I have to embroider on a pullover, that's for sure, because this is something that I want to remember, but sometimes I forget. But I don't really forget. I'm just not there in my faith, I guess, yet, or I'm just a human, I guess, and I can't let the Lord fight for me yet, because sometimes I think, well, we have to stand up for ourselves, but sometimes it's also when I worry, or when I worry about my future or my family's future, then I think that is my biggest struggle that I have with my faith, because when I worry, I always think, why do you worry? You believe in God, so you know that He will make everything great in the end, I guess. Everything bad is going to be a blessing in the end. And this is always something that I struggle with, because I want to be at peace in my mind, but the worries that I have, like every day, like overthinking about different situations or life situations, I sometimes cannot have peace in my mind because I'm not giving it to God, at least not enough. I pray, but I still know that I worry too much, for even though I believe in the Lord. And this is like my also one of my main reasons why I wanted to also read the Bible, because I always know about God, but I don't know enough, and I'm not strong enough in my faith that I can say that I'm at peace in my mind, because I'm really not. Because sometimes it's good, I don't overthink, but then sometimes I overthink, and then I feel bad and I feel like I sinned, because for me it's a sin, because I don't really trust in God enough. At least I think so, when I'm overthinking, because I think that He cannot change that, or that I'm just doomed to have this happen to me, and that there is no way out, even though I believe in heaven, I believe in paradise, I believe in God being good and not an evil God. So so this is this part that I have to really carry in my heart, I guess, and in my mind. So yeah. And then I also want, I think I remember this verse. Wasn't it at the beginning of Exodus? Or am I wrong? Here. Ah, yeah, it was here. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And it was just 3 days ago, right? Or 4. So I have to really write that down, I guess. And carry it everywhere. And at every circumstance, I have to remember that I have to keep my peace, because I'm allowed to keep my peace, or to be in peace, because God is there to fight for me and to be stronger than I am, I guess. So and this I want to mark as, I actually want to mark it as love, I guess, so in pink, because I could also put it in blue since it's God, but I just feel like it will be more, it will stand out more for me in my Bible, because I have a lot of God themed notes, but not a lot about love, I guess. So when I feel like I'm not loved, or that I overthink too much, I will know where I have to go back to. And then for the first chapter that we read today, I think it was 13. There was something also that I want to say about it. And I just have to know what it was. But it was I know what it was, but I don't know where it was. It was when God helped them. When God guided them out of Egypt, I guess, and out of the different cities, and where he was a cloud and fire. I think it was here. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to let them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. So it was Exodus 13, verse 21. And he took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night, from before the people. So for me, this is something that I also want to remember, because sometimes we forget, or I'm going to say I forget, that God is leading the way. I just have to follow. And I guess that God also leads every day, and he shows us the right way to go, but maybe we took a wrong turn somewhere. And because it's like the same thing that we read in another Bible study session, where it was written that that they don't hear God, or that it wasn't Job, where they didn't, where his friend said that God tells us something, but we don't want to listen, even though he does answer us. We don't want to see it, we don't want to hear it, because we are afraid of the answer. He didn't say it like that, so So again, take it with a grain of salt. But it is like the same thing here. I guess I sometimes take a route and I maybe already know that this is not the way my Father, my God, the Lord wants to, it's not the route he wants me to take. And sometimes we don't listen, or sometimes we don't see the red flags, I guess. And we don't see that it's maybe not, well, it's surely not what God has planned for us. And we still take that route, and then we crawl back to God and pray and say what is happening and everything, even though we just ignored the fact that God's plan is not what we planned. If that makes sense. Again, I'm all over the place again, but what I want to say by that is that they had like a very visible guide with the clouds, with the pillar of clouds, and with the pillar of fire, which is clearly something that you cannot miss, I guess. And sometimes I think I just have to see where God is wanting me to go, and to just see those warning signs, I guess, that maybe no, this is not the right street, I guess. So I'm just going to write next to it. It's the same thing as with the peace. It's let God lead. I'm just going to write under it. See, warning signs. And this I'm going to put in the color of God, or in the color of hope. I'm just going to leave it at the color of God first. And those were the two things that I wanted to say. And I also really found the song beautiful, even though again it's with not murder, because it was God who managed this mass murder, I guess. No, that sounds bad, but it was God who helped the children of Israel to get out of the water safely, and the enemies, they died. And that is sad again, but it makes sense, because they wanted to enslave them again, or murder them, the children of Israel. I don't know what the Egyptians want to do. I think they want to enslave them again, but we never know. They want to fight, so this would mean that some would die eventually. But I still found it beautiful, especially was in the last, somewhere here. Oh Lord, who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? That I found beautiful too. And I'm just going to write next to it, nobody compares to God. And this I found, it's something like a question that we have to ask ourselves, maybe sometimes when we are mad at the Lord, that there is nobody that even comes close to God, and that we have to appreciate Him and all His wonders, even when we don't feel like it sometimes. And I'm going to put the color of God here. And with that, I'm also going to leave today's Bible study session. I hope you have a great day, evening, or night. And I hope I see you tomorrow. Bye!